Fate decided.
Let's get this party started.
Craven.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
Jojo Jake.
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Welcome everybody to episode 2 of the Lethal Collective. We got Fate Decided, Craven Something Scary with me, and we're ready to go. We're excited. We had a great time in our first episode, but this one is pre-recorded. So just to let you guys know, and I'll pass it on to Fate. What do we got, man?
So as Knight said, we are actually pre-recording this ahead of time. So this will actually come out New Year's Eve is when you will all see this episode because primarily holiday stuff like that, we're all going to be with our families and stuff. So we wanted to just get these so you didn't miss an episode. So we're just going to keep it light, keep it fun, have a discussion per usual. But you may notice that there's only 3 of us. And so we had a big announcement that we wanted to make with all of you. So we got the numbers and the reviews in the comments and nobody liked Jake. So we're moving forward from now on without Jake.
Yeah.
So let us know down in the comments. How do you feel about that? Are you on the side of like, hey, we don't like Jake and that kind of thing? It's unfortunate, but we're doing this for you. We're doing this for the audience, not ourselves. Right. So we got to move forward the way we move forward. And so now the collective is the 3 of us and, we're a little less lethal,
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Just a little bit. And just so you guys know, we're still friends with Jake. Like he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
It's nothing, wasn't personal. It was strictly business. It was just by the numbers. So, we all knew when we got into this that if someone's like, if the audience is not going to like it, someone may have to go. And we all understood that was how it was going to be. So sadly, it only took 1 week to lose one of us. So that's really a shame. But now we can finally tune in to fine tune the collective.
It's fun. We cut the dead weight. That's what it is.
I mean, and sometimes that's what happens when you've got, a venture going on. Sometimes you got to just, retool it, refine it. And that's what we're going to try to do. So, I mean, Jake's a cool guy, but, we got to move on, man. We got to move on.
Clearly the collective is better now. And, who knows, maybe you watching this, maybe you'll be part of the collective soon too, because we wanted 4. So you can always start that way. But so starting it off, what are the sort of plans for the New Year's? What everyone's going to do?
Wow, man. I mean, there's so many things on the table. I mean, obviously with this project, I'm really excited about where we're going to go with it and the possibilities. I mean, we were talking even before we start recording this about just some of the different angles that we want to venture into, as far as our discussions and just having a fun time, so that the viewers get to see that side of us, even talking about things that are, behind the scenes with YouTube and how we approach YouTube and all the obstacles that we've overcome. And sometimes we're still fighting,
Yep.
So I hope that we can start to bring that type of stuff to the discussions as well,
Yeah. What about you, Craven?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I'm really excited for what we have planned for the collective. And, as we grow and as we go through the next few weeks, we launch the channel we talked about in our last episode, all those things. I think it's going to be just fantastic for all of us and for everyone who's watching. I think everyone's going to enjoy that central location where you know where to go. You go straight to here and it's all there. And you have the archive, it's all there. So that's going to be cool, But in the meantime, we're still doing what we do and we're spicing up our cuts and posting them. And that's working as well. But I'm very excited about that. And I'm very excited about what the new year is going to bring in the movies. And of course, Scream's coming, as we know, in January. So that's huge. And I think we're going to be talking Scream, guys, for
Yeah.
You think we're
Quite
talking
some
about
time.
Scream now? Oh my gosh! Just wait till the movie comes out, right?
It's hard to keep up with everything, man.
It
It's like
is.
there's so much coming out, and the marketing is just so fantastic.
So good.
And with everything that's coming out, there's so many angles within each thing. All the marketing. I had someone that messaged me, and they were showing me this image in Hollywood where they have a huge ghost face on the
Yeah.
side of a building,
That's cool.
and it was at night, and it was illuminated, and I was just like, damn, this is some of the best marketing I've ever seen for, I was like, what is going on? This is that's so magical. It really
Yeah.
is.
2022 is definitely going to be a huge year for movies in general. I mean, obviously
Mhm.
Scream, but we have a whole plethora of horror
Yep.
movies and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, 2022 is going to be a really good year for just not only like horror in general, but this channel, or this, Lethal Collective. And then obviously once we create the channel and launch that, all that stuff. I mean, it still sucks, that Jake was, infected by Ratma and unfortunately can't be a part of the thing no more. But it is. It
I mean,
happens.
oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Hey,
it's
man.
bad.
it happens.
I mean, let me put it this way. When we broke the news to Jake earlier today, he literally was throwing up. He was literally sick
Yeah,
from
Sick,
blowing up
disappointment.
chunks.
Stomach, yeah.
He was
Green
blowing
slime.
chunks because we've been talking about this project for a while. And
Yep.
anyway, I'm not you feel the mood, guys. It's a little somber. I don't know. I'm
It's
feeling
rough.
It's a little rough right now. It's kind of hard to get really loose because of all this, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, I mean, we could take a vote right now on if we should bring Jake back or not, or if we just, let him continue to throw up. Let him go to his ruler at Ratma.
I like the whole voting because here's the thing: people can give their input, and we appreciate it and value it.
Yeah.
But we
Yes.
still have veto power because we are
That's
the
true.
board of the Lethal Collective,
We are.
right?
I like that.
That
The
is true.
board, the committee.
We're the committee. That's even better. We're a committee
Yeah.
of the collective.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
I think we should vote.
All right. So what do you think, Craven? What do you think? Yay
I
or
vote
nay?
yay for nay for bringing him back.
Yeah. Yay to bring
I'm
back
gonna
Nate.
vote. I'm going to vote yay. Bring him back.
Okay. What
Let's
about
go.
you, Knight?
Well, I love Jake and all, but no, I'm just joking. I'll vote yay. I'll vote
Okay.
yay.
Then I'll vote yay too.
Oh
No.
man, there we
So
go.
Jake, welcome back. You can stop
Yes.
puking in the toilet, stop blowing them chunks. But no, on a serious note, everyone, let's get back to being serious. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We just wanted to drag it out a little bit. No, so Jake, this is pre-recorded. This is actually like a thing in the future. But Jake couldn't be here today because he has a little stomach bug. So he really is puking chunks right now.
Yeah.
That was his exact word in the chat was like,
Yep.
hey, make fun of us for doing that. So we wanted to have a little fun with the audience. I hope you
Right.
guys aren't too upset. I hope a lot of it, what's going to be really funny is the people that clicked off like 3 minutes
I know,
in that are
right?
like,
Right.
Jake
They're
is
like,
no longer in the
"Screw this."
collective. Like, so.
Well, we'll notice it when all of our subscriber counts start dropping.
Like,
All the
yeah.
big subscribers
You
are
can also-
subscribing.
You'll know who, well, we're 7 minutes in, so you'll know who at least made it 7 minutes by the
Right.
comments. When the
Right,
person's
right.
like, I can't believe you guys cut out Jake. Like, well, clearly you didn't watch 7 minutes in. But no,
Right.
but on a serious note, talking to the real topic, no, we are really excited for
Yeah.
the collective in the future going forward. This
Yeah.
will definitely come out right before New Year's. Obviously, you're watching it. And we do have a ton of exciting plans. We're talking all the time over the phone in these kind of conversations, just not recorded. Just on the future of the collective and what we want to do to the audience, how we want to incorporate all of you. So 2022 should be a very exciting year.
Yes.
For not just the collective, but all 4 of our channels in general. I mean, all of
Yeah.
us are growing. It's nice that we're coming together to help each other build this community together. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a fantastic thing. But yeah, so like, what are your goals for 2022? I think that's a good way to start this. Like on a serious note, like what would you like to achieve just in life, channel, whatever? Like what would you like to?
Well, for me, 2021 was a very interesting year because I've literally just gotten to a year and a month on YouTube. So it's like, you kind of go through the wars, you go through the ups and downs, you get a second channel because the first one is gone. And so for me, I'm just kind of really zeroing in on myself as a creator, like my voice within obviously my channel, and obviously in the collective as we're getting used to each other and getting a rhythm. And it's exciting. It's really exciting because, you get to a point, obviously I'm still learning stuff every day. I think all good creators continue to learn, but I feel like that, I've learned so much. So it is so exciting, man. I mean, when we did the first episode together, even though it was the first time we were live, I mean, we've talked together several times, but it just felt really natural, and that was a good feeling. So I'm really excited about 2022. I've got, a lot of ideas about what I want to bring, and some ideas that I want to bring to you guys for us as a group, for my own channel, kind of, changing some of the angles and so forth. And like you said, Fate, there's so many cool movies that are going to be coming out, and this whole Scream phenomenon, I'm just, my mind is just, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around how crazy everything is going to be. And it's exciting. It really, really is. I mean, I've got so many people that I see in the comments, on my channel and on you guys' channel, that are just talking about the love for this phenomenon, talking about the love for all of our channels. And also, which is even cooler, is talking about they're so happy that we're coming together. And I'm like, wow. I mean, not that I didn't think that would happen, but it's so great to hear it,
Yeah. It is. It really is. Well, yeah. And I'm going to start going first because it sounds like I'm copying Knight, and it's like I'm just taking what he said. But the fact of the matter is, I actually feel the same as Knight. I really do. I'm on the same page, and I think really all of us are on the same page in a lot of ways with what we want to do next year, and collectively and individually. And with all these things going, and there's like the Scream thing, man. It's just, here's the thing about. I guess I'm kind of already getting off topic a little bit, but I'll say that for a second. So to answer your question more appropriately, it's the same thing. It's just finding ways to elevate. I want to continue to elevate what I do on Craven Something Scary. I want to, think of ways to elevate the presentation, and because like Knight, what you said is true. You're always growing as a creator. It's like you're constantly growing. You never want to get to the point where you're just kind of on autopilot. When you're on autopilot, that's a red flag. All your check engine lights are going off because that means you're heading to burnout because you don't really have the passion. So I think to keep that passion alive, you continue, not only because you enjoy it, but you want to elevate your craft, right? Just like every artist does. Yes. So for me, I want to think of, my channel is 3 months old. It'll be 4 months old in about, when this video airs, it'll be 4 months old. Let me put it that way. So still, it's really young. I'm still really young in the channel. And so my focus for the next year is to just do the best to elevate it when I can. Think of ways to bring the video qualities up even higher, more visuals, just whatever the case may be. So personal growth in creating the channel. And then as far as the collective, man, I really believe, based on the feedback, like Knight just said, all of our channels, and I read them too. I go, because I really do, just so people know, we're not like lying to you. We actually watch each other's content. We actually watch our videos with each other. We leave comments on each other's videos. We do that. And and because we enjoy each other's content. So anyway, my point is, with the content I've read on everyone's pages, people really have liked it so far. And I think that that's very promising for next year, and that the sky could really be the limit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do. I think I mean, it's the navigation of being a content creator. We're all in the same space. I mean, it's one of the reasons we all came together. We all have similar contents, but our own style, our own flair. Like in the first video, how Knight was saying, we add our own little, nuances and our own little personalities to the content. And and it's just about trial and error. I mean, we've all thrown out a video that we expected to do great and it did terrible. We're just like, well, so you pivot, you shift, you do the things that are necessary in order to improve, and you grow and you take the feedback and stuff. And that's another reason why like comments are important. Like, obviously the discussion comments are great, but like even the feedback comments, like, like there's nothing wrong with a good, not the, silly trolling comments. I'm talking about like a real comment. Like I've had people like genuinely say, hey, like, I love this, I love that, but like, this, you could have done this better. You should have gotten to the point more here, stuff. And I take that into account, like, and because we're learning. I mean, we're all relatively new. I mean, out of the three of us, because I think Jake's been in the game the longest, but out of the three of us, I mean, we're all still relatively new. But even me, I'm a year in for Scream content. I've done YouTube for like 2 years, but like the Scream stuff, because this was something completely different before, but the Scream stuff and like pivoting the channel in the direction it was. But even that journey was trial and error. You know, I posted stuff, I did stuff, and it was doing okay. And then I found that one thing that just boom, you know, and it's like, and you know, you it's a roller coaster ride. You're going over here, you're going over there. You sort of ride it till the wheels fall off, and then you find something else to pivot. You got to be innovative. And you know, and 2022, like I want to continue to grow. Obviously, you know, all of our goals for doing this. Let's be frank. You know, it's to have a livelihood. It's to be in a position to where this is all we're doing. You know, how cool would it be if we're all just creating content every day for a living? You know, and just having fun with it. Like that's the point. That's the beauty. That's the goal. Nobody does this like, oh, of course we all do it for fun. None of us are making money. I mean, you know, like, you know, I've had people ask me, like, oh, like you got to be doing pretty good. You post so many videos. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm doing it for the joy, for the love of it.
The passion.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the passion. Exactly. Yes.
And there's just so many ways that we can all improve. And it's great that we have this collective because we can feed off of each other, you know?
Like, absolutely.
You know, and like we're always in our chats together, like, oh, did you check this out? Did you see this? You know, like, oh, you should do this, you should try that. Like, that's awesome. Like coming together as creative minds to figure it out. And I just think 2022, I think is going to be a really big year for all of us as the collective, but each individually. And it's going to be nice to see us grow. Like I said, I mean, look how fast we all grew independently. Imagine how fast we could grow together. Like that's a remarkable thing. And I just want to find ways to be more engaging with our audience. Like that was the whole reason for this, was to like, you know, have the audience see a little more in behind the curtain of how we really are, like our personalities. And I want to come up with I created Scream Talk because people wanted more live streams and to be able to connect better. Like, and I want to do stuff like that with even just the collective and each individual channel. So I don't know. I'm very excited and optimistic for 2022. I think it's going to be a great year for all of us, and just so much horror and Scream. Can we talk? Let's talk about. Obviously, there'll probably be more stuff between. Again, this is pre-recorded a couple weeks before, so for those, which we should, you know, say that. So like, if we don't talk about something that you know that has happened, keep in mind, like, you know, this is recorded weeks ahead. So it's very likely there have been all kinds of stuff that has come out, especially
including a trailer, Jake.
Yeah,
when this airs, the new trailer will already most likely been out for a few days at least, or weeks.
Well, we're in the 12 screams for the holidays.
We are.
I mean, we're literally the day that we're recording this is day 2. So I mean, we have another 10 days after this recording of that stuff, plus whatever happens in between that. So don't worry, we will talk about it. We just wanted to get you guys a holiday episode. We didn't want to miss it because obviously the holidays we're going to be with our families and stuff like that. So it's hard. So we just wanted to get you guys content to enjoy. But that being said, can we talk about the marketing for Scream? I have never seen anything like this.
I've never seen anything like it either, man. I mean, you're watching the thing with Nev and Courtney, and I'm just like, this is amazing stuff, man.
And they're not stopping. It's like rapid fire.
New posters, new trailers, new teasers, new featurettes. I mean, I don't think I've ever, and I really hope it pays off. Because if it pays off, you know, with Scream 6, Scream 7, however many they go, they're going to do the same thing. They're just going to keep marketing, and I love it. And from a creator standpoint, just all the free content we're getting, like, you know, like we're able to pump these videos. It's amazing. But Marvel's Marvel. You know, people, they don't even have. They could just release the movie and they'll probably make it
right. Yeah, Spider-Man didn't even release the other trailer. They're like, no, people are gonna see it this week.
They don't need it.
But from my point is, like, from a big blockbuster standpoint, like most of these big, huge budgets don't even put the marketing into this. I mean, they had to have spent ridiculous. I mean, it's been amazing to see the things that they have like pulled out of the woodworks for this thing, and all the collaborations and stuff. I mean, it's genius. Like, they need whoever the marketing head is, he needs a raise. Like,
they really,
for sure,
it's true.
That guy,
very much so.
You know what excites me about it too is not only just at face value, but it tells me that Spyglass is really, they are passionate about this franchise because you could have a Scream 4 scenario. And I keep asking myself or thinking to myself, if Scream 4 had have received this level of marketing, what a different, we would have had that trilogy. I guarantee we would have had another Craven trilogy.
I
if
agree.
they would have put this much effort into that. And I'm not going to rehash the past, but it does bug me a little bit because Wes was planning on a trilogy. We all know that. And that first movie did not do well. And the marketing was a tenth of what this did. It was just nothing. 10%.
Yeah.
And
they didn't really do much of anything.
Nothing.
And I was surprised back then. I was like,
Yes.
this is Scream 4. This is a tentpole horror franchise. What's going on?
The whole vibe of Scream 4, though, was just, I mean, like I said, I've mentioned it before in like live streams, past interviews, everything. Like, go look at interviews for Scream 4 and go look at interviews for now. It's night and day. Like, yes, they're saying the same generic answers, but the vibe, the way that they're putting it out there, it's not just like, I'm really excited for Scream 4. That's how it was. But Scream 5, they're like, it's great. It's a whole new game.
You can
and
see it.
they're really into it. And that really translates. You can see the excitement for the film.
Yes, you can. I mean, you watch David Arquette or you watch Nev or Courtney, and when they're talking about this new movie, like you said, you could just feel the passion, the energy. And granted, I know some of it is the emotion of not having Wes, but even with that intake, you could just see it in their eyes, man. They really are happy to be doing this. They're happy about this new cast. That to me is one of the biggest things, is they are really zoned into this new cast. And how awesome is that? Because I mean, this is the future, you know?
No,
right?
Well, David Arquette said it best, I think. And it was kind of a jab, but he said it's nice to finally have the franchise with a real studio. It's showing it's true. I mean, because I mean, obviously a lot of this has to do with the money that they spent to secure the rights. I mean, they need this to be successful. So they're probably pumping in whatever they're pumping in for that. So like I said, they're very likely 100 to 200 million in the hole between buying all the rights and everything. And then, 30 to 50 million for the budget for this film. So they're in it bare minimum, probably, $150 million. So they need this to be successful. They need this to be good. And so part of that is the reason, but it's also just the passion. I mean, you could tell Radio Silence truly loves this franchise. I mean, they're interacting with fans and they're, even the official Scream Twitter, like they're posting pictures for like Halloween. They their entire feed was just fans' costumes and stuff. Like, who's doing that? What franchise is doing that? Like, and it gets people excited. It gets people talking. It has people, like look what Scream did. Like they put me on the thing, all that stuff. It's just it's remarkable to see, and it's just I mean, Vince. Look at what they've done with Vince.
Vince.
Marketing is so strategic. It has to be marketing. It is so deliberate at this point.
It's so deliberate. They're leaving him off.
It's
like, we're going to put him in the trailer and all the TV ads, but we're not going to give him a poster.
Right.
It's like, what? They want us to talk about it.
Exactly. Because they know we will. They know that we're watching this thing like a hawk.
It's free publicity. It is. It's free publicity. I mean, from day one, they announced the cast. Everyone had their names except for Vince. And then they come out with Schneider, and it's like,
oh, come on.
Like,
we're not buying that. None of us are buying that.
That's almost as bad as Johnson.
There you go.
Exactly. Vince Smith.
Or Smith. Yeah, that's the word. That would have been the worst.
Every poster doesn't have him on it. Every, trailer doesn't have him in it, except for like one scene where it looks like he's dying. Like, so either A, he is a huge significant piece to this film. And he like, and that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't die, because he could still have a huge significance. And but obviously he either has a huge significance or he really is just a guy that dies like the first 10 minutes in the film.
Yeah,
like he really isn't important at all. And
wouldn't that be something, man? Like how many people would like lose their what? It's like he was just a guy.
He's just a guy.
But it is. It's. I mean, the excitement. Even from a fan perspective, and I really hope it translates to success, which I really think it will.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't as far as like the genuine hype for this film,
Yeah.
I can't think of another movie off the
No.
top of my head that has this kind of hype. I mean, movies
Right.
have had hype. Obviously, Halloween 18, it had hype
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
No Way Home has hype around it. People are talking
Right.
about it, but like it's a Marvel movie. You kind of know what you're getting. You kind of know, like this movie, you have no idea. Every single character outside of the OG3 could be Ghostface. Every
Yep.
single character outside of the OG3, well, I mean, I guess even some of the OG3 are could either be the opening kill or survive till the end. Like it's
Yep.
like every character, and even Scream films in the past, like Scream 4 had like what 6 or 7 new characters, but reality, just on first glance, you knew like, okay, only like 3 of these are really a possibility, and it turned
Right.
out it was 2 of those 3. Like the only ones that you really could have been Ghostface were like Trevor, because you knew Kirby right off the bat wasn't going to be a killer just by her
Right.
character. You know, and then Jill was like, okay, like she's the girl, like maybe, you know, it's that kind of thing. But then like that was the nice twist. But even her, like that was an option. And then you had the 2, you know,
You had Robbie and Charlie.
Robbie and Charlie.
Yeah.
Who were the next like ones. So like outside, so you only had like a couple characters. Scream 3, yeah, that had like 10 new characters. But even then you knew like, okay, like there's only going to be so many of them that can, half of these characters are going to die in the first 10 minutes, which they
Right.
did. And the other ones are going to, like this one really feels the closest to the original, where no one knows
sure.
what, like we all have our theories, we all have our ideas,
Yeah.
but no one knows what is going to happen.
No,
Nobody,
no way.
Yeah, man.
yeah, like
No way.
it's just it's so remarkable. Like I love
Yeah.
it, like the hype
It's-
surrounding it.
It's so unique, isn't it? It's so rare
It
and
is.
unusual, and the fact that we talked about earlier, it's not even. I mean, in the horror world, this is I would venture to say it's unprecedented, and
Yeah.
in the horror genre ever of all
Yeah.
time. And this is competing, and like you said earlier, I think it even is exceeding what you would consider mainstream genres. You know, the actions and the Marvels, the action. This is like it's hard to keep up.
It
This
is.
It's so much. And then they're putting out multiple stuff a day. Like they'll put out something in the morning, like, oh, that's today's new thing. Well, then an hour later, they drop another thing and then another thing. I'm like, oh my gosh. And here's my thinking. You know how much time ahead they had to have this
Plan this,
all
yeah.
planned out?
Yes.
all
Yes. That's a
figured
good
out.
point.
They had to, this is months ago. They were already putting this plan together of execution of we got to film these spots, all
Mhm.
these different little promos, and the machine it took to the pieces it took to plan this and execute it is just phenomenal. It's just
is.
incredible, man.
True.
Because you don't get
Yeah.
execution like this on just saying, "Hey, let's get together and do this." This is methodical planning, preparation.
It
and-
is. I mean,
and
and it's so layered.
It's so layered. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
layered. You know, you can't trust anything.
Well,
Yep.
it's so hard to keep up to, like you said, like
Yeah.
it's like I literally have people in my comments that like post about this, and it's just like there's so many things. Like I can't post a video every 20 minutes,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And so like I gotta like trudge through it and see like, okay, this is a new trailer, so this is important. I need to upload this, and I'm like, I'm gonna okay, so then we'll get to this next, and then like I'm like preparing to record and put this video together, but then something new comes
Something
out.
else
I'm like,
happens.
that I'm like, this is a new featurette. I gotta put this out, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it's just they are
nuts.
just keeping us on our toes.
It is, man.
And,
It really
and like you
is.
said, layer every new thing completely changes the last one. You know, like think about the first
Yeah.
trailer. The first trailer, you saw that and you were like, okay, these two or three characters are the kid. They have to be. Like they're the only, like, it's all,
Yeah.
and then the very next trailer looks like they all die, and you're just like,
Yeah, that's
Wait,
that's
what?
exactly what I was thinking. I'm like,
Yeah.
everything we've been
Yeah.
zeroing in on, it's like we're gonna have to kind of just shift it a
Yeah.
little bit, man. But
Exactly.
that's what's so exciting is because when you go into that theater, like I don't know about you guys, but I've had thoughts about what it's gonna be like when
Yeah.
I go and see this movie, and just how everything's just gonna be hitting me. And I'll tell you what would be really cool, and I know it probably would be impossible, especially with our different time zones, but it'd be so cool if we saw this at the same time or around the same time or close enough to the same time and did some type of live reaction either after it or something like that, and just free flow, just what we thought and the craziness of it, because I think this movie is really going to do a lot of shocking stuff. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, I usually try to keep my expectations low, because there's been many times in the past when you get disappointed, but I really have this feeling this one is
It's
going to come
hard.
through.
It's hard to
Yeah.
keep it under control because it's just
Yeah.
so like they're doing such a great job of keeping
Yes.
us engaged.
Yeah.
You know, and every time you think like they can't do anything else, like come on, they've boom, you get like a whole week's. I mean, we had think of everything we already got leading up to the 12 screams of
Mhm.
for the holidays.
Christmas,
Like
yep.
yeah, like and now we're getting a new thing every single day for 12
Every
days
day.
straight, and it's been multiple things. Like they said,
Yes.
a new thing. It's been multiple. We've gotten
It's
little
multiples, yeah.
teasers. Like it's just it's remarkable what, and it's really curious to see like in hindsight, like I was saying, like we were talking about before we started recording, like what when we have the actual live after this video is released, like what will we look back and go, oh my god, like, just think about all the stuff we have to talk, like you know what I mean, like all the stuff to
Right.
catch up on, because you're gonna have at least 10 days worth of content
Yeah.
that
Yes.
between
Yeah.
now and that time, plus whatever else in between, and it's just like it's crazy.
It is, man. It really, really is. What about the poster, man? The poster,
Oh,
sweet.
Yeah,
love it.
So sweet.
every
Yes.
every poster gets better.
Yes, that's so true, man. Because
Yeah.
you know, the last round of the character posters and stuff, I was totally on board with how cool they look. You know, every character holding the Ghostface mask, and now you got this new poster where everybody's lined up, and you got Nev in the middle, and then what's the tagline? Tagline says,
The killer's in this poster.
"The killer is
on
in
this
this
poster."
poster," and I'm
Yes.
like, "Wow, man!" I mean, like, and we know that, right? But
Yeah.
when you
Right.
read it and you see the lineup, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're here. It's fantastic.
Well,
stuff.
also even the OG3, they make a V.
yes,
Mhm.
So because they're
Yes.
like you have Courtney
They
and
do.
David.
Courtney and David, and then you have Nev here. Like that's but it is, and you know what's crazy is that there's probably going to be more posters because that's the easiest thing to
Mhm.
put out to
Right.
get people excited. And
Yep.
it's very likely that we still haven't gotten the official movie poster, like the one that's going to be on the DVD or whatever. Like it's very
good
likely we
point.
haven't even gotten that, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
curious to see. Like, and it's just, and then it just becomes this rabbit hole of like, you know, like that poster for example. You have the 12 characters. You don't have Vince, but you have
Mhm.
Ghostface, and it's like,
Mhm.
so is Vince get
Right.
Is
Yeah.
Vince that 13th character? You know, and you start, and then you have Woods. You have the sign for Woodsboro, and you have Stu's house in the background. But then you have like a
Yes.
couple other little houses in the background, and it's like
Mhm.
you just start dissecting all these things, and most of the posters have had some sort of details. I mean, the official Facebook group, the logo had like Stu's zip code or whatever on it, and
Oh, yeah,
like,
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you know you have like and then you have the first trailer where the Ghostface is like this, but like if you look at it, like Ghostface is left-handed in that poster, like you know it's all, like, all these things, like it's just like all these, and it makes you wonder, like, okay, is that actually a clue or is it just complete misdirect? Like, is it just so now we're all going to be in the theater like he's not left-handed, okay,
Yeah.
she's not left-handed, like, you know, like, it's like
Seriously.
somebody throw her an apple and see how she catches it, like, you know, like,
Throw it an apple.
it's just like, but it is, it's
Yeah.
so exciting. It's just
Yeah, it is, man. Like you said, 2022. It's a great year for movies in general, but definitely horror movies because this is going to be a big thing for a couple of months. This is going to take us, you know, into 2022. I mean, we're going to be talking about what we
Yeah.
find out, what we see, the possibilities, and obviously what will come afterwards. And then next thing you know, we'll be ramping up for things like Halloween Ends. You know, it's like that's how
True.
close. Like you wouldn't think of it that way because you got one releasing in January, one releasing in October. So you would think, oh, they're plenty of time apart. But we're going to be talking about Scream for a couple of months. And you know, Halloween Ends is going to start bringing out. There's already new news about Halloween Ends. You've got Lindsay's going to be back. Kyle Richards is signed on and stuff like that. And so there's going to be a lot of horror talk, a lot of good horror talk, and that's exciting.
Definitely. Yeah.
is there a outside of Scream, is there another horror movie that you're like amped for?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm definitely curious about Halloween Ends, man, because, you know, with Halloween Kills, there was just so many opinions and so many angles as far as what they did in that movie. And then of course, when you're ending, quote unquote, ending
Yeah.
a trilogy, you know, the question is, can they stick the landing? You know, can they learn from whatever? You know, fans have different reactions. So can they learn from possible mistakes that they made before? So I'm just really curious. Jamie Lee Curtis has sat back and said that this is going to upset fans. It's going to piss some people off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, so then you're thinking, okay, well, what does this mean? You know, my immediate thoughts go to Jamie Lee Curtis is, you know, Laurie is going to die
It sounds like it.
and Michael won't, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that's the first thing that comes to my mind. But is that what's going to happen, or will it be something even more vague with Michael? You know, because you know, we know they're going to make more Halloween movies.
Yeah.
You know, that's just going to happen. Whether they
My curiosity with that is like, I mean, and we should, as it gets closer to the movie, we'll probably do a full thing on it. But
Yeah.
sticking with that, like my thing is like, will they even be allowed to kill Michael? You know, because
Right.
Halloween H2O, they couldn't. They like it was
That's
in the
right.
contract that they could not kill Michael Myers. That's why we had to get Resurrection. So
Yes.
I'm curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I don't know.
it's exciting. But is there anything,
is.
Craven, that you're looking forward to specifically as far as horror movies outside of Scream, of course?
Yeah, outside of Scream, Halloween Ends would be my number one. But there is another movie that I'm curious about watching. It's called Black Phone. Black Phone.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah, the
And
Ethan Hawke movie, right?
Ethan Hawke movie. Yeah, that
Mhm.
one has me really intrigued, and the trailer does show a lot. You know, unfortunately, it gives a lot away already.
Yeah.
So, but you know, and that's kind of the downside of trailers, right? Sometimes,
Mhm.
unless it's a Scream trailer where everything you can't trust anything in it, which is
Yeah.
beautiful. But
Yes.
this is not that kind of movie. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm really interested to see it. I think that it's got a lot of potential to be a good suspenseful. It's not really a horror movie. I call it more like a suspense thriller, kind of, you know, psychological thriller kind of thing. But yeah, so I would say that one I am interested in. But as far as getting amped up, it's got to be Halloween Ends after Scream. That has to be for me.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, man? Do you have some other titles?
Yeah, so I am really excited for Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
yeah.
Because I really enjoyed the first one. It was really different and strange. And I mean, the first time we saw Art the Clown was in All Hallows Eve.
Yes.
And so it's kind of been this like character that's just kind of been there. And I'm really curious to see like because the creator of it has said so many times, like, this is going to change horror. Like, it's going to be the best thing that you'll see. But he's really hyping it up. So I want to see if it's going to live up to the hype. Because, like, what can you do that's going to make, that's going to blow us away as horror
Pretty
fans?
bold,
Like,
isn't it?
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pretty bold statement. And just the mystery around them. Like, are they going to keep it as this like omniscient being or whatever, or are they going to explain like what happens? Because like you've all seen Terrifier, right? The first one,
Mhm.
yeah. So then like how was he able to die and come back? Like, is he a demon? Is he a creature? Is he whatever? Because I mean like that's one of my things that I didn't really like about Halloween was that like they sort of present Michael has always been this like superhuman, super natural type thing, whatever.
Mhm.
But it was never like addressed directly. It was always just for you to, leave to your imagination. Like,
Right.
why is he able to do this stuff? I mean,
Right.
obviously, Dr. Loomis, he's had the devil's eyes, that kind of thing. But it was never like a direct, like, he is this like supernatural thing. But in Halloween Kills, like, they really hit home on that, like the more he kills, the stronger he becomes.
Yep.
He's this, he's a normal human wouldn't have been, he has to be, he's more than that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and they really like, I just felt like they took away like that mystery of like, what is this? And the reason I bring that up is because Terrifier, it's one of those things like with that I wonder, like, are they going to leave that mystery of like, what is this killing? Like, because you watch that movie and you're like, okay, it's like some crazy clown that's stalking these two women, like,
Right.
and then it transitions into something completely different. Like, was that a ritual? And him killing himself was the final part. Like, it's just there's a lot of mystery surrounding it, and just like the hype of that. But other than that, like, curious to see what Nope is about.
Yes.
That's another one that it doesn't really have a lot of like not really a lot on that right now.
Mhm.
as far as like what exactly it is. I mean, even when it was announced, it was just like an image. Like,
Yes.
that was it. There was nothing else. It was like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
So,
What
like,
the hell is that?
I like the idea of like the mystery surrounding these movies, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, Black Phone sounds cool. But you know what would be another good conversation? Just like how you were talking, Craven, how like Black Phone isn't like a Scream movie.
Right.
What else is? I mean, really think about it. Like the whole point
Yeah.
of Scream is that whodunit aspect, that
Oh, yeah.
element, that
Right.
mystery, that you
Sure.
know, like us sort of going on this journey together through this movie and all the misdirections and all. Like what? Like the closest thing maybe is Saw, but even that is something kind of in another direction. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
you know, like what else would be
Mhm.
even remotely close to that? Like, you know, I mean, obviously they've made like, you know, Scream 2.0, like Urban Legends was like that, but none of
Right.
them have been as huge and successful as Scream.
No.
Right.
no.
Yeah.
And it really
Yeah.
changed, you know, the slasher in many ways. And that's the thing that I love so much about Scream is that, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and let us know in the comments if there's a film, a big film. I mean, I'm sure that there's some like, you know, B film that no one's heard of or something like that. That's
Yeah.
just like a carbon copy. But I mean, like
Right.
iconic, like something that like, because I can't think of one like that would be.
I mean,
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
yeah, but that was
Yeah.
like a direct cop. Like that was
Yeah.
literally made because of the success of Scream.
Absolutely.
on the same writer. I mean, it's Kevin
yeah, well,
Williamson.
that's what I was saying.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
they called Kevin Williamson and said, "We
Yeah.
want you to make us that."
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'll throw out another one out there. This is, I don't know how widely popular this movie was, but it was a whodunit and with a masked killer. It was called Valentine.
I remember
yeah,
that.
Yeah, with
With David Borees or whatever, right? I
Yeah.
can't think of his last name. Yeah. And I thought that was a decent movie, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I
when
enjoyed
it had
the movie.
Judy as the final girl.
You know, it was, well, that's true.
Yeah.
You're right. It did. It really did.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. I thought it was a good, decent whodunit because I love
Yeah.
whodunits. That's
Me
like my
too.
favorite genre, man.
Yeah.
Is whodunit. And when you put a whodunit into a slasher film, you know, just sign me up. Where do I sign up? Because I'm going to watch it. And
Yeah,
so-
those are great types of movies,
I
man.
love
because
those, man.
it just gets you thinking, and even outside of the horror genre, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like one thing, and I know this is a total left turn, but one thing I'm also excited to see is oh my gosh, Death on the Nile.
Death on the
which is-
Nile.
which is
Dude.
the sequel to
Yes.
Murder on the Orient
Murder on the
Express.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And
That was
you
a great
know,
movie.
I
It
mean,
was.
it was, wasn't it?
It was so well done. I mean,
I love those types of movies, man.
I bought that movie the first day it came out on Blu-ray. I saw it in theaters, but the
It's
minute
on
it was on Blu-ray, I bought that
Yes.
thing. I said, this was
Me too.
a masterfully done, just masterfully redone. And
Yeah. it
now we
was.
got Death on the Nile. What's he going to do
Yes.
with this one? And I'm
Right.
so excited.
Like those are the types of movies that I'm so glad, you know, obviously we're talking about these two movies and something like Knives Out.
Oh,
and,
that was
I was just going to
excellent
mention. I was going to
movie.
wait for
Yeah.
you to finish your
Oh.
point, and I was going to say
yeah.
that.
And,
Love that
and
movie.
now they're going to be doing the other movies on, I think, is it Netflix? He's got the
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, is
it's
it?
like
okay.
it's like, wow, man, this is like kind of taking a step back as far as, you know, doing these types of movies. But I think we need those types of movies because they can be very engaging, they can be very smart, and they can really captivate the audience. Like when I went to go see Knives Out in the theater, I was just like, you know, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it watching this, but when it got to that point where it took a left turn, I was like, what? Okay, so this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
No,
And
it's not.
That, I love that feeling. That's one of the best feelings I get when
Yep.
I'm watching a movie, when it totally surprises me and I get that smile on my face.
Yes.
That's one of the best things about being a movie fan. It
Yeah.
really is.
It is. It is. And Knives Out is, I remember after I watched it, I said, everyone I know, I have to get them over here to the house because I want to watch their reaction.
Yeah.
Because it's so fun to watch other people watch it for the first time.
Well, what a great
Yeah.
cast too.
And what
Oh my
yeah,
God.
for sure, man.
Wasn't it though?
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Oh my goodness. And credit to all of them. Daniel Craig.
Yeah, he's-
Wow.
Great.
Oh, he's so good.
I mean, you know, and I've loved him as Bond, but you know, this type of thing Like he should definitely dig deep into this, you
Yeah.
know, which it looks like
Mhm.
he is.
Yep.
But he was fantastic, man. He was fantastic.
Well, even
Great.
Chris Evans, you know, from going from Marvel Captain America to that, I
Yep.
mean, that's
Yes.
a huge, like, it's a huge change. Like, you know, that's
Yes.
night and day. And he did that. He played that great.
Oh,
I
he
was
did.
like-
he did.
I was like,
good.
this is the guy, you know. And what is it, Anna de Armas or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's
So good.
She does it great. And there's always been something about her. She's very captivating to me.
She
I don't
is.
know what it is about her. Like it's just she's always
Yeah.
been very like everything I've seen her in, I've really enjoyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was it? War Dogs. Like I thought
Yep.
she was great in War Dogs. Like that was another great movie. But yeah, like
Yep.
like those mysteries, those like
Oh, love
the
it.
one like because you can tell too. Like somebody took the time to fit. It wasn't just let's throw
Mhm.
out a let's create a new Halloween and tell the same story for the 1,000th
Yes.
time. This
Right.
was a group, likely a group of people that sat down and actually used their noggin to create
Mhm.
this incredible thing. Even movies that I like those movies, even if I don't like the movie, I respect it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like okay, like
Yep.
you know, like that's one of the reasons I loved *Malignant* so much. Was it was just so
Yeah.
different, so out there, so
Yeah.
far right that you're like,
Oh man.
what is it? It's just this roller coaster ride the entire time. You think it's this type of movie, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, like now you're
Man,
in this section, and it just
My
keeps
jaw
taking it.
literally dropped
Yes.
when I
It
was,
was-
watching it. I was just like, what is going on? And but I had the smile. I had the smile
Yeah.
on my face because and James Wan, it's like, good for you, buddy. Because
Yeah.
James Wan, as far as modern horror, you gotta give him a hell of a lot of
Seriously.
credit, man.
Well,
You got
he's
to.
very creative, even
You
if
do.
even if it's terrible.
Yeah.
He's very creative in how
Yes.
he goes about these things, and that story was like without ruining it for anybody, but
Yeah.
it's just it really is just this roller coaster ride. And when you get to the end, you look back and you're like, this was like 10 movies in one.
Yes, it
Like,
was.
literally, like you're like this was like an anthology series all wrapped into one movie telling the same story, and you're just like, how did we get here? It's
Yeah.
just, it is. It's so creative. And
It
whether
is,
you liked
man.
it or not, like you still
Mhm.
have to give it that nod of like, all right, like this was, and the cinematography in that movie wasn't. It took me a minute to adjust because it was so different.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
I didn't like it at first, if I'm being honest. Like
It was kind of
just so-
jarring.
yeah, it was
Mm.
so different than the usual film.
Mhm.
Like, and so like I was watching, I was like, I don't know how, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit through this movie because it's like even and the camera angles and everything. But like once you like accept it, it's really like it's just so creative. Like
Yeah.
like the angles. I mean, where she's walking through the house and the camera's like above, like that was so genius. I mean, that doesn't
Yeah.
take away from the movie, but because there's a dozen scenes like that. But it's just like
Right.
all of these, like the angles and the shots, and just like again, the cinematography as a whole was just it was so different. It really added to the film because I mean we've all seen a movie that the cinematography takes you out of the film. You know,
Yes.
Or like you watch a found footage film and it's just so shaky, you can't even see what's going on. Like
Mhm.
the lighting was great, the direction was great. I mean, it just I don't know, it was such a great movie, and it falls
Mhm.
into that whole thing. So, but I don't know. Overall, I think it's interesting. But we should what time? We're about an hour in. Again, this is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
pre-recorded thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I again, just for those to clarify for people, Jake will be back. Don't
Yes,
worry
he
about it.
will. We were
It's
totally joking.
That was a
and
total
we love
joke.
Jake. We love
was.
Jake.
And
I hope,
and the
I hope
audience,
you believed it.
the audience, I know, right? The audience feedback has been great. So
Yeah.
that whole thing
Yeah.
at the beginning, that was all for fun.
Yeah, and we were trying
that's
to
not the
trying to
case.
hold the laughter back. We talked about that before we even started.
Yeah, you should have seen us before we got into it. We were really,
I know,
you know,
it's true.
and we wanted to wait till the end to like really like relay it, but you know, not everyone watches till the end, so we wanted to make sure.
Right.
So for those of you that are watching this right now at the end, I applaud you. Thank you for
Hey, that's
Yes.
right.
being on this journey with us. But
bet.
again,
Absolutely.
this video, I'm sure that we're gonna get comments or people that are like, why didn't you talk about this or that or
Yeah.
whatever?
Mhm.
Don't worry, we will cover it all after the new year. Because you know, again, this is pre-recorded. We wanted to make sure we got stuck to our schedule that we promised you all. You know, and we said every Friday. We're trying to commit it to every Friday. Obviously, I'm sure there'll be future episodes where, I'm missing or Knight's missing
Yep.
or Craven or so on. It's just part of it. There's 4 of us trying to come together. But overall, in the end, we're trying to make it work. We're excited for the future. 2022 is going to be an amazing year
Yes,
for
it is.
this, the collective, as well as
Yep.
our channels individually, and you, the audience. I mean, we're constantly talking and communicating ways to be creative, to give back to that audience, things like that. And let us know in the comments what kind of things you want us to talk about.
Yes.
Because again, we'll there will be 2-3 weeks between the time this is recorded to the time you're actually seeing this. So give us some ideas for next week's episode. And then
Absolutely.
that being said, Happy New Year's to you all. Because
Yes,
Happy New Year's, everybody.
when you see this, it'll be the new year. So again, be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't be silly. We need you all here in the comment section.
We
Wear
need you
your
on our next
seatbelt.
video.
Yeah, we need to see you all in the comments, the usual suspects, things like that. Anything else you guys want to add? Anything like that? You want to close us out, Knight?
All right, I'll close this out. But I do want to reiterate, we hope everyone's having a safe holiday.
Yep.
Take it easy. Take care. Hope your families are doing well. And we'll catch you later. Anything you want to say, Craven, before we head on out?
Man, you guys said it all. Just be responsible. Call an Uber. Be safe.
Right.
Your life is more important than a drive home. So
That's
be
right.
safe, guys. If you choose to celebrate in that way.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. We will catch you guys later.
See you all in the
Take
See
it
you
easy.
guys. Adios.
Bye.
Bye.